Planning is important, but the most important part of every plan is to plan on the plan, not going according to plan. A plan is only useful if it can survive reality, and a future filled with unknowns is everyone's reality. The more you need specific elements of a plan to be true, the more fragile your financial life becomes. Room for error, often called margin of safety, is one of the most underappreciated forces in finance. It comes in many forms: a frugal budget, flexible thinking, and a loose timeline. Conservative is avoiding a certain level of risk. Margin of safety is raising the odds of success at a given level of risk by increasing your chances of survival. Most of our attention goes to things that are huge, profitable, famous, or influential, when most of what we pay attention to is the result of a tale. It's easy to underestimate how rare and powerful they are. The idea that a few things account for most results is not just true for companies in your investment portfolio. It's also an important part of your own behavior as an investor. Your success as an investor will be determined by how you respond to punctuated moments of terror, not the years spent on cruise control. A good definition of an investing genius is the man or woman who can do the average thing when all those around them are going crazy. When you accept that tails drive everything in business, investing, and finance, you realize that it's normal for lots of things to go wrong, break, fail, and fall. Peter Lynch is one of the best investors of our time. "If you're terrific in this business, you're right 6 times out of 10, he once said. Something I've learned from both investors and entrepreneurs is that no one makes good decisions all the time. The most impressive people are packed full of horrendous ideas that are often acted upon. The good jokes I see on Netflix are the tales that stuck out of a universe of hundreds of attempts. When we pay special attention to a role model's successes, we overlook that their gains came from a small percent of their actions. Financial success is not a hard science, it's a soft skill, where how you behave is more important than what you know. History never repeats itself. Man always does. Luck and risk are siblings. They are both the reality that every outcome in life is guided by forces other than individual effort. It is so important to remember when judging success, both your own and others, nothing is as good or as bad as it seems. The accidental impact of actions outside of your control can be more consequential than the ones you consciously take, as much as we recognize the role of luck in success. The role of risk means we should forgive ourselves and leave room for understanding when judging failures. The hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving. Happiness, as it said, is just results minus expectations. The point is that the ceiling of social comparison is so high that virtually no one will ever hit it, which means it's a battle that can never be won. Enough is realizing that the opposite, an insatiable appetite for more, will push you to the point of regret. You don't need tremendous force to create tremendous results. If something compounds, if a little growth serves as the fuel for future growth, a small starting base can lead to results so extraordinary they seem to defy logic. Buffett's fortune isn't due to just being a good investor, but being a good investor since he was literally a child. The point is that what seem like small changes in growth assumptions can lead to ridiculous, impractical numbers. It's about earning pretty good returns that you can stick with and which can be repeated for the longest period of time. That's when compounding runs wild. There are a million ways to get wealthy and plenty of books on how to do so. But there's only one way to stay wealthy, some combination of frugality and paranoia. Getting money is one thing, keeping it is another. Keeping money requires the opposite of taking risk. It requires humility and fear that what you've made can be taken away from you just as fast. It's not whether you're right or wrong that's important, George Soros once said, but how much money you make when you're right and how much you lose when you're wrong. The highest form of wealth is the ability to wake up every morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. The ability to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, for as long as you want, is priceless. It is the highest dividend money pays. Doing something you love on a schedule you can't control can feel the same as doing something you hate. People like to feel like they're in control, in the driver's seat. When we try to get them to do something, they feel disempowered. Take it from those who have lived through everything. Controlling your time is the highest dividend money pays. When you see someone driving a nice car, you rarely think, wow, the guy driving that car is cool. Instead, you think, wow, If I had that car, people would think I'm cool. You might think you want an expensive car, a fancy watch, and a huge house, but I'm telling you, you don't. What you want is respect and admiration from other people, and you think having expensive stuff will bring it. If respect and admiration are your goal, be careful how you seek it. Humility, kindness, and empathy will bring you more respect than horsepower ever will. Wealth is what you don't see. We can't see people's bank accounts or brokerage statements, so we rely on outward appearances to gauge financial success.